Today, though, is the final day of business and the final day of existence for the January 6th House Select Committee. And moments ago, the panel released more stunning text messages and put out a news statement summing up their work. They wrote, quote, "We overcame many hurdles, including efforts to conceal, obstruct, and our work, and more than a dozen lawsuits. Many witnesses hid behind claims of privilege, including Donald Trump himself, who initially blustered that he would be willing to testify, but then sued so that he could actually avoid facing our questions." Let's break it all down with Tom Foreman, who is at the wall for us. Tom, walk us through some of these new text messages that were just released. They're pretty interesting.
They really are. If you have any doubt that the people in the White House knew what was happening and knew how accountable they could be, just look at these text messages from one of the president's longest, most trusted advisors, Hope Hicks, to another advisor on that day. She wrote, "In one day, he ended every future opportunity that doesn't include speaking engagements at the local Proud Boys chapter, that extremist far-right group. And all of us that didn't have jobs lined up will be perpetually unemployed. I'm so mad and upset. We all look like domestic terrorists now." Again, this is one of Trump's most loyal aides. That was her assessment of what was happening. And Abby, even though we're down to what should theoretically be just the dribs and drabs of what's coming out of this big investigation that the January 6th committee has done, we're still getting new information from my former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, and the RNC chair, Ronna McDaniel, as well. Abby?
Yeah, it's interesting that she's very concerned about a loss of jobs on January 6th.
Yeah.
But you mentioned Mark Meadows. That's another big name to drop in today's documents. He actually didn't provide any testimony, but he did provide some text messages and emails. What more are we learning from those documents?
What we're learning is some details that the committee wanted to ask him about and never got the chance to. For example, December 23rd, 2020, an email in which he said, "Rudy was put in charge. That was the president's decision." Exactly in charge of what, for how long, what that encompassed, we don't know. But we do know that Rudy Giuliani was very much involved in this plot to bring in these fake electors and try to turn things over. We also know that Meadows had an email from January 5th in which he indicated that the National Guard would be present at the Capitol on January 6th to protect pro-Trump people. Again, this is all without the context that we would like to have, that the committee would have liked to have had. They would have had if Meadows had come forward to testify, but he did not. And then when you look at Ronna McDaniel, the RNC chairman, she said to the committee, she did say, "I do have a recollection of him, Trump, asking me what my relationship was with the vice president. And I said, I didn't know him very well." So that's in reference to the idea of, was there a way to get Mike Pence to do what Trump wanted to do? She went on to say at one point, "I believe he," the president, said privately in one way or another that, the vice president had the authority to, I don't know the correct legal term, but he had the authority to not accept the electors. Now, she has said she didn't know that there was a active plan to swap these electors illegally, but that they were more standby electors. But again, all of this speaks to the idea that a lot of people, Abby, a lot of people knew the workings of these various plots to overturn an illegal election, and a lot of them were concerned about the consequences if it was exposed.
That is really, really very fascinating. Interesting that the president was asking Ronna McDaniel about her relationship to his own vice president.
Yeah.
But Tom, anything else caught your eye in this latest batch of transcripts?
There are a couple things that came out. Again, this is sort of the tail end of it. It's remarkable the things that are coming out, considering this is the bottom of the barrel of all the stuff that they released here. One of them was, you remember Cassidy Hutchinson, that aide who was so riveting in her testimony, when she talked about how Trump lunged at the front of his presidential limo and tried to turn the wheel because he wanted to go to the Capitol. He wanted to go up there and join his people. He tried to basically sort of started the fight in the car, trying to make his car go to the Capitol. Well, another aide basically said, well, when Trump was told he couldn't go to the Capitol, he sort of shrugged it off. Was this the same moment? Were there different moments? Or was somebody's testimony here not entirely true? We don't know. There are still many, many, many questions about everything that happened that day. But again, what is incredibly clear, even as we go through these last dregs of the barrel here, as they wrap up their work, is that a lot of people knew what was going on. A lot of people thought it was potentially wrong, potentially criminal, and a lot of people thought at very least there could be very bad consequences by being attached to it.
Yeah, and they said so to each other privately, but not so much publicly
Yeah,
at
and
the
that
time.
and that worry about being employable. I mean, that's a very real thing. When people, you know, Abby, when people in this town line up with a candidate or line up with a party, they are building their careers based on that record. And these were people saying what he has done has destroyed all of our careers because nobody will want to be associated with this.
Yeah, Tom, you know, I would think that there would also be a concern about safety of folks on the Capitol,
Of course.
about our democracy, but that didn't seem to show up in the text messages either.
Not
Tom
so much.
Foreman, thank you so much for all of
You're welcome.
that.